Alright, this is the next stretch I'm showing you guys. This is another one I get a lot of questions about. It's the glute ham tie-in. Really common area for power lifters to get tight, kind of a hard area to stretch. So I'll show you what I do for it. First things first, I always start with some kind of warm-up, some kind of mobility work. You see that in my extra sessions that I always post in my log. I do a lot of warm-up and mobility stuff, body weight squats, body weight box squats. Same thing I do before a training session, okay? This stretch is also part of my stretching. When I tell you guys that I'm doing my hams and all that before training, I'm doing the static stretching, this is also part of that, okay? Always warm it up first because you don't want to be stretching a cold muscle. It's just, especially if that muscle's already injured, already having tightness issues, you don't want to damage it by stretching it when it's not ready for it, so warm it up first. That being said, after I do my warm-up stuff, first thing I always stretch is hams. You'll see that every time you look at it. It's my very first thing I go to. I usually start it with something real simple, like a toe touch stretch, whether it be standing or seated. Simple stuff, bend over, touch your toes, right? Stretch your hamstring. Okay, from there, I transition into a hip flexor stretch every time. One knee down, lean into it, stretch the upper quad and hip flexor. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I'm going to show you that, because I transfer straight from that into this glute ham tie-in stretch that I'm going to show you. So, basically the hip flexor stretch, I'll start with a knee down, get this leg out so that my knee isn't going to be tracking over my toe, and I'm just going to lean into this, activate the hip flexor and the upper quad, okay? I'm going to keep my torso upright as I do this one though. I'm going to stretch that for a few seconds, you know, probably a 10 or 15 count. I'm going to come back up, and then this outer leg is the one that I'm going to stretch for the glute ham. I'm going to kick that all the way out, and then I'm going to lean down inside of it, so the leg's outside of me here. And when I lean down into it, you can really feel back in this area. It's going to stretch quite a bit. The more you lean into it, the more you can stretch it. So on that side for you guys, it's going to look like this. The leg's going to be out there. I'm going to get it down, and I'm going to be inside of it completely. And you can move it around. You can push it outward. You can lean into it more, you know, whatever you have to do to really stretch this area down in here. The other thing that I like to do beyond that, especially on my off days when I'm working the recovery stuff, I like to take a baseball or a pitching machine ball or lacrosse ball, whatever. I stick it underneath my leg right there. I sit on it. I roll it around, move around, break up any kind of like scar tissue you got in there or just the tightness in the muscle, get it loosened up, get it ready to, you know, get more circulation going, recover, get ready, and just be careful not to go too far to one side or the other because, you know, it might disappear.